Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I'm going to put my candy corn down because I have a video that's probably going to take all 15 minutes of my time right here. I need to upload this off my phone because I need to get to bed. But WrestlingDVDnews.com gave me this little bit of a scoop. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I think this came out 2 days ago on the website, and it's made its rounds to where everybody's been able to see it. But basically, WWE sent out a survey trying to gauge people's interest on potential DVDs and Blu-rays projects for the 2014 year. None of these DVDs are going to be locks, and some DVDs on this list will not be made. Some of these DVDs that aren't even on this list will end up being made. This is just trying to see what people would buy if they could do it. I don't know how you get on this list. I didn't get a survey. If I did, I didn't know about it. But basically, we're just going to run down the list. I'll give you my thoughts. I pulled a whole bunch of DVDs out off my shelf to refer to during this video, so I made a huge mess that I'm probably not going to clean up for a good little while. So don't even ask for a DVD collection video, because my shelves are screwed right now. First thing on the list is the Macho Man Randy Savage. It's a documentary plus matches. I am all for this. In 2009, the Randy Savage Macho Madness Ultimate Collection came out. This was before Savage had died, although he is not involved with the set at all. That fuels the rumors that WWE and fans have said for years that something horrible happened between Savage and McMahon back in the day, that I've heard about everything. I heard a news story that I had never heard before on the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jerry Lawler podcast, where it is basically Savage no-showed appearing on Monday Night Raw to do the announcing to sign his WCW deal. A new side of the story I've never heard before. I think everybody's seen McMahon's sorrowful, tearful goodbye to Randy Savage on Monday Night Raw, so I don't know if that really goes along with what Lawler was saying, how he ended up getting the job. But this covers one of my favorite time periods, the Mega Powers. I believe it has almost all the matches on here. If not, just get that Best of Saturday Night's Main Event and just pop in WrestleMania 5 to get the Mega Powers collide to get the best of right there for you. But I honestly think that a documentary plus matches would be really good. There is huge problems with this. One, Savage is dead. Two, basically Savage's family, mainly his brother, is almost like Owen Hart's widow. He doesn't want anything to do with the WWF unless they put him in the Hall of Fame, as well as they put Savage and his father in. They just, I don't know why the genius is trying to get in on this, but he says it was Randy Savage's last wishes, so you got to take it for granted for what it is. Number two, Randy Savage's biggest friend, biggest foe, Hulk Hogan, is now in TNA right now. He wouldn't be in here. The only people I can think of that would really be able to come on here and tell stories, unless they have a whole bunch of stuff in the vault to make this documentary, would be like Vince coming on there, and who knows what the hell Vince is really going to say about Macho Man to say there. But a lot of the guys from that time period, like Bobby Heenan, they're not dead, but they're really sick to the point they couldn't do a documentary. Next one is the Chris Jericho. I believe this came out in 2010, Breaking the Walls. It is a documentary plus greatest matches. I thought that, honestly, most of Chris Jericho's best matches are already on here. I know that from 2010 to now, he had a few good classics, so maybe you could add on and give just another 3-disc set to here. But my main thing is when guys get too many 3-disc sets, is that in order to put the newer matches on there that are good, they try to put older matches on there, so it's like a total time period covered of his whole career, that the ones from his older ones, because they don't want to repeat and put stuff on there, don't live up to what is as good on as is on the first ones. That's I'll talk about him when I get to him, but more continued when you get to the Cena ones. Next one is the Shawn Michaels best matches. For Shawn Michaels best matches, we already have Boyhood Dream, one of the worst WWE DVDs that have ever been put out. We have From the Vault, which could have been a good DVD. It's on the edge. It gets overshadowed by a lot of them. Honestly, this is one of the first WWE DVDs that I ever bought for my collection, mainly because I wanted to see the Rockers breakup on the, what the hell was that called? The Barbershop. Then we have Shawn Michaels, My Journey, another good set. This is the one that has the documentary and Shawn Michaels' Heartbreak and Triumph. And then we have the Superstar Collection that just came out last year. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of matches on there that we already have with all those sets. It's going to be hard to find best matches that don't go into there. There is a problem, though, is that in order to have the best matches of Shawn Michaels, you have to have this many DVDs already. So I don't know if they're going to go through and they're going to put all of those together on a 3-disc set to where you have to have one more Shawn Michaels set. That way, at least you can have the essentials all in one, and you're not skipping over discs back and forth if you're trying to watch a Shawn career in progression from start to finish. So maybe that would be a good deal in order to get that on there. Next would be John Cena. Here we have the first one with Word Life. We have, shoot, I got mixed up. My Life. That's followed by the John Cena Experience. And then we have the Superstar Collection. Minus this one. The one thing that I really like about this, you have the early part of John's career, followed by the middle part of John's career, and then up to 2010. I know that it's been a good while since we've had John Cena stuff, but it probably would be good in order to get a best matches of best matches of John Cena that would get us from 2010 to now. The only problem is that looking to put some sort of a documentary on, and when you look at the documentary that is on the John Cena Experience, which is sort of like a day in the life of John Cena, when this first came out, I didn't really like this. I ended up watching this off of, I think it was on Netflix 6 months ago or so, and it was better than when I first watched it. I don't know what I was expecting with this. We all knew going in that it wasn't going to be a documentary of him, but I don't know. I'm not really big on the documentaries. If you go back in and you watch Word Life, it's a good thing of how he got started as being a WWE superstar and how his career got started. It almost reminds me of what, like, before the Superstars Volume 1 and Volume 2 are. But maybe an updated documentary to get us to the point where we are now. But mostly, I would just want the matches from 2010 to 2013. Next is the DVD on the Rhodes family. The only DVD we have so far right now is this. The Dusty Rhodes story, which ends off with a chapter that is about Goldust and is about Cody Rhodes. I guess they're trying to brand that into a whole hour-long documentary. I remember in 2010 it was rumored that Goldust was going to be getting his own DVD. He was actually pressing for it on Twitter. Dusty Rhodes story. I think everybody has this DVD. It's a good one to fall asleep to at night. But I think everybody's box is broken. I remember going to the store and picking this up for the first time, pressing it here and hearing "funky like a monkey." I don't know. Honestly, I think that would be a good story of a guy that's a huge wrestler growing up and having sons that wrestle in two different eras. A lot of times when you see like football players or baseball players that are brothers, they're in the same era. But it was like Cody didn't get started until after Goldust was already pretty much, retired. So it's sort of like you have Dusty Rhodes, a huge star in the Golden Era, then you have the Attitude Era with Goldust, and then you have Cody, who's like the star of today, whatever you want to call that, the PG era, the watered down era, or something like that. So maybe they'd be able to sit down and discuss how wrestling has changed in each different era, and I think that is something that I would really like to see. Goldust is the kind of guy, I went hard on him in my video back in the day, thinking it was pretty stupid, but looking back over his career, he had some good matches that I probably want to look back over and see. His books was one of the best wrestling books I ever read, but he didn't really talk wrestling in that book. And someday I'd like to meet him, shake his hand, and tell him how good that book was. I read it on the flight back from Atlanta, and there was a page in there, and near the end, made me want to be a better father when I read that page. But here we have the next one, which is Rob Van Dam. They're looking to give us a best matches. This DVD was made in 2004, a long, long time ago. Rob Van Dam best matches is must needed. He does have a good amount of matches on here that span from 93 to 03. I'm showing them to you, like you can read them off the little screen that YouTube gives you. But must needed. I mean, must needed. Plus, they can explain that gap where he's been the last 2 years. Next one is the class of 96. Rock and Stone Cold, the documentary plus matches. I can remember a few years ago, they had the Greatest Rivalries on WWE DVD News as an upcoming DVD, but it wasn't going to be Shawn and Brett. It was going to be The Rock and Austin. I think it would be awesome if this DVD came out, and I don't know if it's going to be, because it's called Class of 96 and not called Greatest Rivalries, but this was an awesome idea that I was hoping that WWE was going to build on and give us more of these sets. And it's a shame to see this came out in 2011 and there wasn't a 2012 release. There's a ton of guys. You could do Dusty and Flair. You could do, I mean, if you want to do newer ones, Austin and Rock. You could do, Triple H and The Rock, two guys that really built their careers up. And using each thing, you could use like I don't really know if you want to protect. You could use Undertaker and Kane someday on the ride, but we need more Greatest Rivalries ones. So Austin and Stone Cold under that presence would be good. Batista's best matches. Here's the Batista's I Walk Alone. This came out in 2009. This was an awesome documentary. I had this sit on my shelf for a long time. I wasn't the hugest Batista fan. He surprised me in some spots and gave me in some good matches, but I was never a guy that I pointed out that I wanted to see and I wanted to know more about. And then when I saw his documentary, it really surprised me. Didn't change the way I thought about his wrestling matches or anything like that, but it made me think the guy was a bigger star. Just a bigger star that I didn't care about. So the best matches to Batista I can give a thumbs up to. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin picks his favorite matches. He's going to have the same problem that John Cena had. He's the one guy that has more DVDs released than anyone else. These is a whole bunch of DVDs, and I don't even have all of them. I'm missing Austin 316, and I'm missing Austin vs. McMahon. I was really surprised they didn't give us a Superstar series on Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I don't think anybody really liked those. Here's the latest one that came out. This is just called The Bottom Line, the best superstar of all time, or something like that. Then we got The Legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin, a good set right there. Stone Cold Truth, probably the best one of all of them, honestly, in my opinion. Then we have Stone Cold What? Good documentary on there. We have Hell Yeah. I haven't seen this in a long time, but it looks like it covers 98 and 99 for Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then we have Stone Cold Said So. Honestly, there was some good stuff on here. If you want the best matches of Stone Cold Steve Austin, there's this 3-disc set. There's a whole bunch of matches on this DVD that came out. So another one would be pretty much surprising to me, but you can go back and maybe if you do something like the Hulk Hogan DVD that came out in 2010, the secret matches, or whatever the heck they called that thing, where it was all, mostly house show footage and shows that were filmed overseas and stuff like that. Lesser known matches, collector's series, whatever they called that. I think that would be good, mostly so we can see the pops of the crowd when they're over there. I know there's a DVD, the Bret Hart DVD. That DVD sucked, but when Bret Hart was on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast, they put over that match from Kuwait, and I don't really remember it being that good. So maybe it would be cool to see some matches like that, just to see how Stone Cold Steve Austin was over in different buildings, because honestly, for my time period, except for Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin got some of the best crowd responses of all time. Next one is Daniel Bryan. The only DVD ever released by him is the Superstar series from 2012. Not much on here, just his match against NXT that was just uploaded up onto YouTube in full. They've been putting a whole bunch of stuff on the WWE YouTube lately, all full matches too. But definitely need to build up on this. Maybe it hasn't been long enough to give us a documentary on his career. Maybe he hasn't really done enough, but dude's been WWE champion, so that should put him on a short list of somebody who needs a documentary set coming out sooner than later. Next one I didn't grab because there was too many, but the best of WCW pay-per-view matches. Honestly, I thought the last release was the WCW Nitro Volume 2. I thought that was horrible. Very, very watered down. I thought they had to release a second one because the first one was so good. We've got a Clash of the Champions. We've got a whole bunch of documentaries on them. We got Starrcade, this, that, and the other. Maybe they've, shot their load and they don't have anything else to do. I don't think you can do a Best of Thunder. The Saturday Night Show was an awesome, awesome show with great wrestling on it. Honestly, if you want to go to anything, I would go to there. But a whole bunch of people want the best of, like, Halloween Havoc, the best of that. For some reason, they want to reach out and they want to grab as much WCW footage as they can. I think if the WCW name value, holds and it'll sell, put it out there, because, that's all it is. If it's out there, I'm going to buy it. The last guy is Rey Mysterio, with the best matches as well. We've already got 619, The Biggest Little Man, and The Masked Man. I hate all those DVDs. He's not my guy. I don't think I could sit down and watch an hour's worth of Rey Mysterio matches over and over again. So, thumbs down. But surprised I got through them all. Let me know what you guys think. Check out WWE DVD News. Boom. Peace out.